Time to get in the zone. Hey, I'm Jess and welcome to my channel. If you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're notified on my next videos. So you have your first $1,000 or maybe $1,000 in general, and you're looking for a great way to invest it. Then this should be a great foundation video for you. Firstly, when it comes to investing, there's always going to be a certain amount of risk involved. No returns are ever guaranteed. When we invest, we allocate our money with the expectations that we'll get some type of benefit in the future. But we really don't know what the future looks like for our investment. You can never invest thinking that you're definitely going to get returns or that there's never going to be any risk involved. So the first thing I would do with my first $1,000 is not really an investment, but you should definitely consider paying off your high interest debt payments such as your credit cards. Now, I know this isn't really an investment, but if you look at your APR on your credit card, which is your annual percentage rate, most of the time is going to be much higher than the rate of return on most investments that you're thinking of investing in. So say you decide not to pay your credit card off and you have an APR of 15%. According to the Federal Reserve, the average APR is about 15.09%, but we'll use 15% for simplicity's sake. So you owe $1,000. Your total yearly interest is going to be about $150. And to get that, you just times the total balance which you owe, which is $1,000, times the APR, which is 15%, and you'll get your yearly interest of $150. So by deciding to invest in the S&P 500, instead of just paying off your credit card balance in full, you end up losing $50 a year because when you invest in the S&P, you make 100, but you're still going to owe the 150 on your credit card. That yearly interest isn't going anywhere. So you're better off just paying off your credit card, the balance of $1,000, than to invest it in the S&P 500 and lose out on the $50 a year. Now, if you have any low interest debt, you really don't have to worry about tackling those with your first $1,000 because usually the percentage on those is about 5% or less. So definitely you want to take care of those high interest debt so that way you can move forward. Now, the second way I feel like you should invest your first $1,000, and this might sound cliche and it's going to be different for everyone, but you should definitely invest in yourself. I strongly feel that by investing in yourself and improving on your skills and learning new skills, taking on different courses, that'll definitely help you out in the long run, and that should be the foundation of all your investments. You want to make sure that this investment is going to positively impact your life and possibly help your career in the long term. Now, investing on yourself doesn't have to cost $1,000. Of course, you can find things online for free, different courses online. You can maybe read a book that will help improve your skills. But the idea of investing in yourself is definitely going to yield the highest return on your investment, which is you. I hope. I hope. One way I personally invested in myself was I paid $500 and I got my real estate license about 7 years ago. And since then, it's been nothing short of amazing. And I have a lot of real estate knowledge. And I also can use my real estate license to buy and sell properties for myself, which means I don't have to hire a real estate agent, saving me thousands and thousands of dollars. Yeah. Now, the third way that you can invest your first $1,000 is by starting a business. Now, that might not seem like a lot of money now, but there's a lot of hobbies turned businesses that I feel like you would definitely be interested in. Some examples are like cosmetology, say you like doing nails or hair or facials, anything of, I don't know what's in that field, but say you like doing that type of things. I feel like there's definitely ways that you can start a business in cosmetology for under $1,000. Another idea is reselling things. So say you like sneakers or art, there's definitely ways to buy things at a low discount and allow it to appreciate over time and then sell it to someone at a higher price. Another business that someone might start is say you like music and you can teach someone how to play like the violin or the piano or anything of that sort. There's definitely ways that you can start a music business with just $1,000. So definitely figure out some things you like to do, different hobbies or things you're good at, and write up a business plan and see if you can invest $1,000 so that you can invest in your own business. Now we know every business does not succeed, But the life lessons that you learn, I feel like would be more valuable than the $1,000 you invested. And in the long run, you'll probably learn from your mistakes so that way when you go on to your next venture, you can save a lot more money and a lot more time. Now, the fourth way you can invest your first $1,000 is in real estate. Now, I don't know anywhere in America where you can put $1,000 for a down payment on a home, but there's a lot of different ways for you to invest in the real estate sector with just $1,000. One of the ways that you can invest in real estate with just $1,000 is through real estate crowdfunding. This is a relatively new idea that became available in 2012 when Barack Obama signed the 2012 Job Act, which is also called the Crowdfunding Act. So Funrise is one of the new real estate platforms that I've been using as of June 2019. I personally invested $1,000 so you can see how my money worked in the past 10 months, about 10 months. I decided to go with the plan, which is the long-term growth plan. To get Funrise, the minimum amount is $500, but if you invest $1,000, you get upgraded to the core plan, and that offers greater diversification, plus the ability to tailor your portfolio to suit your investment goals. So I really like Funrise. Platform super easy to use on your phone. I'm currently on my laptop. In the past 10 months, I made about 6% return on my $1,000, which is about $60.49. And they're also sending daily or weekly updates on different projects that my $1,000 or a portion of my $1,000 was used towards. Yeah, so definitely check it out. Now, the fifth and final way that you should invest your first $1,000 is into ETFs or stocks. I put these two categories together because you can most likely use the same trading platform to purchase either an exchange traded fund, which is an ETF, or a stock. Exchange traded funds are a basket of securities that trade on the market similar to a stock. The main difference between an ETF and a stock is that an ETF tracks an index or a specific sector such as energy or technology, while a stock tracks a specific publicly traded company. ETFs are a great way to invest because it allows you to be more hands-off and it allows you to have a more diverse portfolio. If you'd rather take on more risk, then you should definitely look into investing in individual stocks. When I first started investing, I kept it super simple. I invested in companies that I already knew and that I thought would be successful in the future, such as Nike, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks. Starbucks. I'm from Boston. I went to different websites such as Yahoo Finance and Seek and Alpha before I invested in the companies, just so I can read a little bit more information about them so I can feel more comfortable in my investments. When it comes to investing in stocks, you should never base your picks solely off of what someone else has to say. You should always do your own research. Now, there's a lot of different apps and trading platforms that you can use, but some of my favorites are Robinhood, which has a super easy to use interface and they'll give you a free stock when you sign up. Webull, which will give you 2 free stocks when you deposit $100. Their interface is not as friendly as Robinhood's, but they do offer a more in-depth analysis of stocks and they have a little bit more information that you can use in terms of reviewing and doing research on stocks. M1 Finance, which is a newer app that I started to use. They're really great for fractional shares and they have this cool pie system and it's more like a robo-investor if anything. And I would say Cash App is a great one. I started to use that. Super easy to use. Pretty much everyone has Cash App on their phone and I pretty much been liking it for the past couple of months. Most of the links for these stock trading platforms will be in the description below. I also plan to do an in-depth video on my favorite stock trading platforms, so definitely look for that in the future. A bonus tip I want to throw out there is never ever invest in something you don't know or something that seems too good to be true. Now, I was about 18 at the time. This was maybe like 10 years ago. Someone approached me with a business, this multi-level marketing business, promising 125% returns. And that seemed a little too good to be true, but I definitely wanted to check it out. They said that they were making money off of this, so I was like, why not? So I signed up for this website. It's called Zeek Rewards, and I put $1,000 in, promising me 125% returns. And for the first few months, it was smooth sailing. I was doing what they told me to do, in terms of posting ads or something like that. And for every ad I'd post, I get a certain percentage. And then all of a sudden, a few months down the road, the website just stopped working. I couldn't sign in. I couldn't withdraw my money. And I was pretty much out of luck. But a few years down the line, the government found the guy who was doing this Ponzi scheme, and they eventually prosecuted him. And they had this receivership website, which basically you put in all your information and how much you lost. And I think it took me about a couple years, but I eventually did get my $1,000 back. But I definitely learned a big lesson. Never invest in anything that you don't know or seems too good to be true. Now, this $1,000, any way you plan to invest it in should be the foundation of what you plan to do in the future. Now, I believe these 5 ways on how to invest your first $1,000 will greatly shape your financial future as they did mine. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Make sure you comment down below on the ways you plan to invest your first $1,000. Share this video with a friend, and until next time, I'm out.